What's up, everybody? This is hashtag homeless, day 21. Man, this is so crazy. So much happened between yesterday's video and today. I'm really it's like I'm in a storm, in a boat that's not built to handle the storm, and I'm just being tossed by the wind and the waves wherever it wants to throw me. And all I can do is hold on to the edge of the boat, try not to fall out of the boat, try not to throw up from the motion sickness of it all. So as of yesterday, I was told by federal probation that I have to get ready to pack your bags and move back to Pittsburgh, the western Pennsylvania region. You can't stay here in New York because you no longer have a place to live, you no longer have your support network, you don't have a job yet, etc. That was right around lunchtime yesterday. Pretty shortly after that, news came by, I found a place to stay. A few hours later, that fell through. So as of right now, I'm homeless in Jamestown, New York, with no real idea of when I have to leave and when I have to go back to Pennsylvania, and who knows what I'm going to have to go through just with probation alone when I transfer to Pennsylvania. That in and of itself could be... don't worry about tomorrow because today has enough stuff for you to worry about. You know, the Bible says that. We're just going to leave it there. But as of right now, whenever I get to Pittsburgh, I'm going to be homeless. Starting from day zero of being homeless in a new city, day zero of looking for a job that's any kind of general labor job or any job that I can get my hands on to get on my feet. I'm going to be starting from zero with no headwind, no progress, no irons in the fire, nothing. So that's what happened on that front. On the job search front, there's a very prestigious organization here in Jamestown. One of the good things about Jamestown that I mentioned yesterday, one of the things I like about the place, it's a very nationally recognized thing. I don't want to, I'm not going to name names. There's just certain things I'm not going to just come out and say. But I would say it was about a month and a half ago. I sent a blind resume to the CEO of this organization because of my networking and the things I had been working on since I arrived here in Jamestown. I got a tip. Reach out to this person. They might be looking for someone who does what you do. Well, yesterday I got an email from that organization. The CEO got my email, got my resume, credentials, sent them down to her people, who reached out to me and said, we want to talk to you about coming in to be our graphic design and media director. We're just starting the search, and you're the first person that we've contacted because we already had your information that you sent about a month and a half ago. So that's a lesson for anybody right there. I can't count the number of times I've blindly reached out to somebody at a company, somebody high-ranking, a decision maker, and just had a talk with them. Exchanged business cards at some sort of business wine and cheese event where you're, shaking hands and handing out business cards and that kind of thing. You never know when shaking someone's hand and handing them a business card 6 months later turns into a lucrative job or a lucrative client or who knows what, man. You just cannot predict these things. That's why it's always good to plant seeds early in the season because you never know what's going to grow later on. And so, now I'm being told I'm getting kicked out of town right at the same time that a lucrative potential job is dropped in my lap. And, once again, there's no guarantees that I would get the job. There's, going to be a process around getting it. I'm going to have to dance around the subject of having a criminal record now and all the things that go with that. You got to be kidding me. You got to be. Somebody just drove by, and I think I know. I don't even want to think about this. Anyway, back to the subject. I'm being told that I gotta leave town, and all these opportunities are popping up. I have another potential job interview with another big box store that I applied to. There's 2 of those irons in the fire that could turn into a job any day. Okay, well, you see me acting all weird right now. It's because I swear somebody just drove right past me that I never want to see again. And it looked like they were pulling over to turn around and come this way, but maybe not. Maybe, who knows? Who cares at this point? This is raw, unedited life right here, baby. I don't have time to cut these videos up and to do any editing. I barely could find a app to splice 2 videos together without putting some logo in the bottom corner because I don't want to pay for the app. It took a little bit of time to figure out. Let's see here. What day? Oh man, this is crazy. So yeah, there's that. I potentially have... So yeah, I have irons in the fire. I have opportunities popping up left and right here in this town. And now I'm being told I got to pack my bags and go start over somewhere else again. The government, I'm trying not to have this cynical attitude of, everybody's against me and the government's doing the... Number one, it's not... If somebody gets released from prison and has nowhere to live, and if the government just says, you know what, good luck, throws you out in the street telling you, well, good luck, hopefully you get your act together someday. Oh, and by the way, if you don't find a job within a certain amount of time and you don't get on your feet within a certain amount of time, we're going to put you back in prison because you're violating your conditions of release. That's not fair at all. But in my situation, I had a place to live. I had what was supposed to be a stable footing to start getting my life back together. And when I walked out the door of prison and finally found my way back here to Jamestown, it was anything but stable. I'm actually in a better place right now, if you can still hear me. I'm in a better place right now than I was when I had a roof over my head. And that's hard for me to believe, but it's true. It was my stomach was in knots 24/7 living under that roof. And I was being subjected to some pretty bad things. And that's all, I don't even want to talk about it that much. But there's a reason why I'm homeless right now and why I'm going through this. And a lot of it's my own fault. I'm not going to back off from the blame that I deserve for what happened. But there are other things that I've been done dirty by more than one person since this happened. And people that in some cases I've been friends with since I was 18 years old and, who just turned their back and said, F him, we don't want anything to do with him again. Heaven forbid if any of you ever make a mistake, you're going to find out real quick how many of your friends are true friends and how many of the people in your life you should have never had in your life to begin with, because only your true friends will stick around and have your back during a time like this. And one of the things I'm finding out slowly are that I have more friends than I thought I did, because a lot of people from my past have been trying to catch up to me and find me, reach out to me, and every other day somebody new's popping up from my past that maybe I haven't talked to for 10, 20 years in some cases. And they're all popping up to say things like, we wanted to show up to your court hearings, but we couldn't figure out who your lawyer was. We couldn't get in touch with you. And yeah, when you're in prison, you're sheltered from the outside world. It can cost up to $50 just to call somebody on the phone. Like they keep you in a cage they really purposely try to keep you from being able to have any contact at all with the outside world. And, whether that's right or wrong, we can debate that all day. But you are isolated. You are in a bubble. You have no idea what's going on outside of those walls. In fact, one of the jails that they had me in for 14 months, I did not see outside for 14 months. I did not see the sun. I did not know what a tree looked like. 14 months. I didn't see a tree, the outside, the sky. Well, there was a little tiny gym in the cell block with a view of the sky, but you could never really see the sun. And even when they would transport you to and from court, they would put you in a windowless van with no way to see out the window. You couldn't even look out a window on your way to a court hearing. They would keep you in a dark vehicle, locked up, shackled. It's torture. All the windows in the jail were frosted over. You couldn't look out the windows. They would let some natural light would come in, but they made it so that you couldn't actually see anything outside. 14 months of not seeing the sun or seeing a tree or even knowing what the outside looks like. I mean, if that's not torture and cruel and unusual punishment, then I don't know what is. But this is the condition of some of the places that they lock people up in America. But I'm rambling. I'm going in 10 different directions here with this conversation, and the point of the matter is, I'm being told I got to pack my bags, go back to Pittsburgh, start all over again with all of this. I don't even know where I'm going to be sleeping when I get there. It's terrifying. It is absolutely terrifying. I'm sitting here trying to do productive things, whatever. I mean, at this point, I'm scrambling to do whatever I can. I'm going to go on the interviews as they pop up, even though I'm supposed to leave town. Maybe there's a chance that if I did get a bona fide job and they're not going to take away my start date, maybe that's enough to tell probation that maybe probation will turn around and say, okay, you can stay here. Looks like you're getting your act together, so on and so forth. Especially if I get a lucrative job that pays a decent amount of money, having an important job with a prestigious organization here in town. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to just throw that in the trash. I'm going to pursue the opportunity. I'm going to see where it goes. But I do have this feeling that God wants me to go to Pittsburgh for a reason. And one of the big reasons there, my children are in Pittsburgh. I'll be able to see my children, spend time with my children, and have a relationship with them again, where I really can't do that from where I am right now. That's important to me, and that right there is a good reason to get out of here. I do know some people in Pittsburgh, but I'm at the age, I'm almost 50 years old, and maybe if I was 22, there would be 3 or 4 friends that would say, hey, you can come crash at my place. You can sleep on the couch until you get your own place, et cetera, et cetera. But people my age, they don't want company. I mean, there's nobody to call. There's no couch to crash on. There's no, like I said, I know a few people in Pittsburgh, but the chances of me having a place to stay are pretty much zilch. And I don't even know what a homeless shelter in Pittsburgh is going to be like. I don't even know if I'd be safe carrying around a laptop and the things that I'm carrying around right now that I'm able to keep safe, because the homeless shelter that I'm staying at here is really clean and it's a pretty safe place. I have no idea what I'm in for going to Pittsburgh. I may just have to put my laptop and other things in storage and have nothing but my phone to work with. So, but once again, this is all just, don't worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow, you have enough things to worry about today. And so you can drive yourself absolutely nuts trying to worry about what's going to happen tomorrow, and you won't be able to focus on what you need to worry about today. Yesterday, 5 o'clock, got here. I really wanted to spend another couple of hours working on my portfolio that I'm trying to put together for a potential big boy job interview next week. And I just threw up my hands. I'm like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I can't focus. After everything shook out and all the different things that happened, my mind was shot. I was done. I couldn't do anything, so I decided to go back and have dinner. And all I did was relax for the rest of the night and just try to get into a mental state to handle whatever today brings. And today, I've been pretty productive. I'm getting things done. I'm basically just putting my energy toward whatever I feel is the best thing to put that energy toward. But right now, everything's up in the air. There's no stability. There's nothing. And it's just pure chaos. Chaos every single day. I don't know how you can live like this for a long period of time. It's been this is day 21 of being homeless. And, to beat yourself up, like I got out of prison on April 2nd, and so it's been just over 2 months. My expectations of where I should be right now in terms of having everything put back together in life, they're not reasonable. I was hoping that maybe the good Lord would just waltz me right into a situation and put me back on my feet. And it just looks like I'm going to be trials and tribulations for the foreseeable future. But I also know, and I've shared a couple of these stories here on this channel, that a single phone call, a single email can change the direction of everything. You could be at the bottom of the barrel with no hope left at all, and that phone rings, and it's something that comes your way in life that something shows up out of the blue that changes everything. You go from being hopeless to being so full of optimism, and you go from the bottom of the barrel to the top of the world in the blink of an eye. And I've experienced that so many times in life, especially when I used to work for myself and I never really knew when I was getting paid. I know I shared a story about it was the first day of the month and I had no idea how I was going to pay rent, and a friend from the past who I hadn't talked to for 6 years showed up out of the blue with a phone call saying, hey, if you can help me with a project, I can come over today with a check for $5,000 as a retainer to get started on the project. And I said, well, I guess I can clear off my schedule to fit you in. And I had nothing going on that day. The only thing I had going on was worried about how I'm going to pay these bills. And 2 hours later, the money's in my hand, and the landlord is calling me, barking at me, screaming at me that I haven't come over and paid the rent yet, and it's the first day of the month. And the money literally fell out of the sky 2 hours ago, and I was able to say to her, instead of saying, sorry, I can't pay, I said, I'm on my way. I'm out running errands, and I'll stop by your business before I go home and drop off the check. How's that sound? Oh, that sounds great, honey. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you like the place, and blah, blah, blah. And everything was fine from there. We had a good, from that moment forward, I had a solid, I stayed in that apartment for a year until I found a better place, and I had a really good relationship with the owner. But it had the potential to start off on very bad footing, and the good Lord just showed up on the day he needed to and said, here you go, I gotcha, don't worry about it. So I know this can happen. I know that's why I'm not going to give up right there. That's the biggest reason why I won't throw in the towel, because I have enough experience in life to know that the day you give up and the day you throw in that towel is the day before everything breaks loose and you would have made it. And you not only would you have made it, you would have been successful beyond your wildest imagination had you just held on one more day. So don't give up, man. If you're in a situation where everything's hopeless and you just have no idea how it's going to shake out, you just need to hang on for another day. There's a stupid song from the 90s, hold on for one more day, or whatever. I don't, but the lyrics are true. Hold on, one more day, and things will go your way eventually. So with that, we're about 20 minutes in. That seems to be about the length of these videos. I was hoping they would be 10 minutes because that's the attention span of YouTube, but people don't seem to mind. I'm getting all kinds of crazy comments, most of them good. I would say 5% of you are the trolls. Go ahead and troll away. I'm not gonna lose sleep because some troll left me a nasty comment. Oh yeah, by the way, the plugs, litgood.com, shop.litgood.com if you want to support what's going on here. The best way to do that is to buy my art. I have 4 photographs for sale on shop.litgood.com, and they're available in various sizes, all the way from about $25 to $2,000, depending on how much of a high roller you are. So check that out. The last person who ordered from me placed the order on, I think it was a Sunday night, had the print in his hand Tuesday morning. So it's fast. The shipping is fast. The processing is fast. I have to give it 10 days on the shipping policy to cover me in case something goes wrong. But for the most part, these things go out the door fast. I think maybe the larger metal prints that cost, hundreds of dollars and up might take a little bit more time to produce than a paper photographic print, but they're getting shipped overnight. Once the lab finishes the print, they're being packed and shipped, packed professionally, better than I could do myself. People wearing white gloves on their hands, no fingerprints. They're being padded and protected, better than I would do myself, and shipped overnight directly to your door. So once again, that's shop.litgood.com. Check out the links in the description. YouTube wasn't allowing me to put links in the description for these videos, but now they are. I checked the other day. I have no followers on Instagram, so if one of you wants to be the first follower on Instagram, if you're on that goofy site, feel free to hit me up. It's not hard to find. The link's right in the description. So if you're watching this video on TikTok, there's no real description. I don't care about TikTok. I'm just uploading the videos, and I really don't care what happens to them from there. I think TikTok is a ridiculous platform, and I'm really not. It's more like a backup in case YouTube shuts me off. You can go see the videos on TikTok, but I don't care about TikTok at all. So if you want to actually see the other links that I'm talking about, you got to go to YouTube, look at the description, or just go to litgood.com, shop.litgood.com, and we'll go from there. Anyway, talk to you guys tomorrow. Later.